Jumbo, hello, my name is Laura. I'm a trek guide at Disney's Animal Kingdom with a Wild Africa Trek. A wonderful tour for families with children that gets you to a walk on the wild side. So this is a 3-hour tour. The first half of the tour is where you really get to do the wild adventure stuff. So all of our guests, including the kids, get to wear some fun trek gear like this, because we're literally letting you step right up to the edge of the reserve where there's crocodiles within 10 feet of you. So you get a wonderful view from that. And of course we have some high swinging footbridges because you have to cross over the river somehow. So you get to cross over the swing bridge to get a little closer to the wildlife as well. The second half is for once your heart has, settled back down to a normal pace after getting that close to dangerous wildlife. We have a private safari truck that allows for us to actually pull over and get a little closer to things like giraffe and elephants and rhinoceros. But we also have a little luxury part of this as well, because we get up to a safari camp where we just get to kick back, relax, and watch the world go by, and we feed you and we take pictures the whole entire time. So that's the gist of the trek. But the other great thing that I love about it is we're really connecting you with your family. You don't have to think about a thing on this tour, but we're also connecting you to wildlife. And the great part about this is you and your family get to help make a difference for wildlife and wild places, because a portion of the cost of this tour is donated back to the Disney Worldwide Conservation Fund. So everyone gets to make a difference. Kilimanjaro Safari is also one of our popular attractions that everyone wants to see and be a part of. And as we're trying to market ourselves a little bit more to repeat visitors, giving them different things to do when they come, we have revamped the Kilimanjaro Safari a little bit as well. There used to be a big storyline threaded through it about poachers right in the reserve and trying to capture them, and that's how you were taking action to help wildlife. But ultimately, only a few of us can probably do that in reality in our life. What we can all do is make little actions every day to help animals, and that's now what the focus of the Kilimanjaro Safari is about. Not only are you seeing these beautiful animals, but what are some things that you can do as an individual who doesn't live in Africa to help wildlife? So the focus is much more on the animals and conservation now than it was before. When you step into Animal Kingdom, you really feel like you have been transported to Africa or transported to Asia. You really get the feel that you're there, and the Imagineers all bring that to life. And they bring it through also with the storytelling. Joe Rohde really helped design the Wild Africa Trek. This was kind of his baby, his project. And he talked with us through the design phase of this. I was very fortunate to be part of the opening team and help to put this together, but certainly with his guidance as well. But this is a very interesting project, I feel, because he also gave us a lot of freedom too to kind of make this what we wanted. He just gave us a little bit of guidance of, I've been to Africa before, I've done these tours, this is kind of how it felt for me. As long as you get some storytelling in there, have some fun with it. He gave us a lot of free rein from it. But the Imagineers, it's not just their imagination and what they think of that they put into this park, but it's also their own personal experiences through their travels as well. And a lot of that you see at Expedition Everest. As far as I know, the first attraction that had a conservation focus behind it, where our Imagineers and our biologists and Conservation International went to Asia and studied the wildlife and the people in the area and brought that back to Animal Kingdom. So maybe some of our guests won't get to Nepal one day, but here in Animal Kingdom they feel like they have. Well, I think Imagineers just take it to a complete different level. They have a wonderful amount of resources, and the sky's the limit for them. We've had some wonderful things through some of our special events in the past that have been really innovative. A few years ago, we had this amazing technology where there was a box, and there was a sea turtle that was emerging out of the water on this box and laying her nest of eggs. And our guests could literally put their hands down into this box and pick up a sea turtle. But it seemed like you were truly picking up this real sea turtle. And that is something our Imagineers concocted and found the right people to make that and to design that. But what better way to interact? I mean, getting out in nature is the best way to do it. But if you can't do that, finding the technologies to bring that to them. And then of course too, with our wonderful Disney nature films that we have as well, is another way to get our guests connected to nature as well. Not sure if the Imagineers have a part to play in that, but they might. Starting kids young, I mean, building that environmental ethic in children is important. There's a saying that I like is, the world is not ours to keep, we're simply borrowing it from our children. So yes, adults can have a great environmental ethic, but kids are really into the game, so getting them started young with that, getting them out into nature, connecting with nature, that's what we're all about. Well, the one thing is you can't bring your phones with you on this tour unless it has a neck or a wrist strap. So we literally kind of, I guess in a way, are forcing them to connect with nature and with their families. And many of these guests, after they finish these tours, have explained to me and expressed their gratitude for getting a lot closer to animals, the things that they never learned and realized about how wildlife, how amazing they really are. Everything from the little bugs to the big, beautiful, majestic elephants. And I've had a number of guests say, you really kind of have inspired me to truly go to, maybe it's visit my zoo at home to learn more about animals. We've had many kids that said that they wanted to do a school project to teach, their schoolmates about what they learned while on this tour. So I think we really have a wonderful opportunity to inspire people to this conservation action. We also share other higher messages too. A lot of people are already recycling paper and plastic and bottles. We talk to them about more things that they can do. So for example, recycling coltan, it's something that's in all of our smartphones, all of our digital cameras, all of our laptops. Things our guests didn't know, products we use every day that are connected to the wildlife in Africa, and telling them if they simply recycle those items, you can help save an animal in the African forests. Most of our guests are like, I had no idea about that. I have a drawer full of dead cell phones at home. You know what, when I get home, I'm gonna recycle that so I can make a difference too. So we really, I think, open our guests' eyes to a whole new world of conservation and wildlife.